Hey folks, it's 4 Wheel RC here. Thought I'd give you a look at my vintage Schumacher CAT2000, which I've recently finished renovating. Just give you a little bit about the car, and then we'll cut into some running in my local park. We'll see how fast this thing goes, because I'm just about to take it out. I'm quite excited. This is a Schumacher, a UK manufacturer, CAT, it's Competition All Terrain 2000. This buggy harks back to the mid-1990s. I used to race this at a local club, and then I have to admit my dog got hold of it and did kind of break it somewhat, so I put it in a cupboard. Anyway, it's back. So for all of those of you who may know this car, and maybe from my era with RC, here's a bunch of stuff to reminisce about. What on earth we got here? It used to be powered by an old 540 brushed motor. So it's a 13 double Ironman by S&K, plugged into a, look at that, Ford's only Novak 410 Hyperfet servo. Ford's only. Ugh, pain. And that was controlled by, wow, look at this, a Fibre AM receiver, and oh my goodness, Fibre Attack SR. Yep, this is before pistol grips. This is what everyone used to run. And then in the 90s someone invented pistol grip and it took over. Anyway, that's majorly vintage. And also, this is another trip down memory lane. This is a MOSFET servo. It's got your normal wire here, and it's got another wire. What do you do with that? Well, back in the day, the really powerful servos used to plug into the ESC on a wire that went straight into the battery to get their power. Anyway, old stuff. What have we got? New stuff. Here's the original model. It's so CAT2000. Had a few upgrades. It's anti-roll bar on the back here. So just bring it a bit closer so you can see. Quite a thin roll bar, goes around, and just when one wishbone pivots up, it kind of presses down on the other one, stops the chassis roll too much. Otherwise it's carbon fibre chassis. That's an upgrade. Everything else is pretty much stock on this car. The wheels are road tyres. Normally this would come with mini spikes. So for renovating, bring it into the 21st century, apart from putting really strong Velcro on the body shell, what do we got underneath? So down in here, I've put in a Spektrum surface receiver and LiPos. Now for anyone wanting to do this conversion, or who's curious, this is a saddle pack car, but this would obviously take nickel metal hydride round cell saddle packs, and I've got square box hard case LiPos in here. This is a 5200 mAh Losi Xcelorin pack. Now this is fitted in. I did a lot of research on this. If you go and look under team associated parts, you can actually find a LiPo saddle pack tray for a team associated buggies, and this screws through the underneath of the chassis. Screws in there, I think, and that comes up through into this blue metal tower here, and then there's another one there that screws up through there. That fixes this tray on, and on the other side, basically this fitted almost 100% to start with a little bit of filing, just to kind of get it in and clear the various chassis towers inside, but it worked out pretty well. So that's the power pack. Steering servo is now a Savox SC1258TG. This is the titanium geared high speed servo. That's a 12 kilo 0.08 second servo. It's very fast, and also causes a problem as well, which I'll explain to you how I solved in a moment. ESC and motor wise, this is the HPI flux brushless system. So you get the Motive ESC here, which has a beck in it, but it's rubbish, and also the 5700 warp brushless motor there. Okay, so problem with the servo I was talking about, just to let you know how I solved that. If I let's crank on the radio, crank on the ESC. So thank you, speed controller. Servo here, yeah, it's working fine, but it wasn't. Now what I found initially was this Savox servo draws so much current when you're quickly whacking full lock that it was actually draining current out of the 6-volt bus from the beck from the ESC into the receiver, and this was causing a dropout, and I'd lose control. So what my local hobby store recommended, and something I didn't know existed until last year, there you go, this is a capacitor. It's called a glitch buster. You might have seen these before. If not, this might be a useful tip for you. Basically you just plug it into the battery port on your receiver, and it sits there. Just strap it on your chassis somewhere. It sits there and provides an extra immediately available source of current. So if you've got a heavy duty servo and a not particularly clever battery eliminator circuitry on your ESC, if you're doing loads of servo movement, the capacitor will fill in. It's not perfect. If I go really nuts with the steering, you see it glitched then and stopped. If I do it again, oh, there we go, it's dropped out and it's come back. Let's try it again. Oh, it's dropped out. Normally you wouldn't steer that much. I mean, normal steering, it's fine. So a little tip for you there, glitch buster capacitor. If you find your radio's dropping out, maybe you've put a new super duper servo in. Other thing to note on this car, just for vintage kind of people might appreciate this. Hear the clicking there, so I can roll the front wheels without the back. And if I drive the front and then brake, see all the braking is on the back. That's because the shaft off of the spur gear here has a one-way slipper clutch in it. That's awesome because you can basically tail slide, handbrake, turn it, and lots of fun. Oh, the other little thing I found while I was shopping around, if you don't know these products exist, you might be able to see here on the anti-roll bar, this little foam kind of donut there, and then down on the steering linkages here. Hopefully you can see that. These little foam discs, these are team associated parts, and they just keep the dust out of the ball joints. It's quite a nice little idea. Anyway, one vintage Schumacher CAT2000, now on brushless with 2S. Let's go and see how it runs. Well, here we are, back in the workshop after getting all the grass out of the back of the car. I forgot how much it accumulates grass down by the rear drive shafts. I need to put some polycarbonate deflector sheets in or something for that. Anyway, that was lots of fun. Shouldn't really been running the road tyres. Should have had some mini spikes or the big spikes on there to get some grip on that grass, but it was sure good for donuts.